Can find a person that's in a significant position of power as a black man. Why is Andrew Schulz more reasonable and level-headed than Ryan Clark?
I want to explain to him the black experience, the black woman experience from my point of view.
All right, guys, so we got Brandon Tatum being, glazing Andrew Schulz, that's all he does. Brandon, this guy, he is so, Andrew Schulz should tell him to shut down. I cannot, okay, y'all see my bias, right? This is Andrew Schulz sending Brandon Tatum to an unhinged rant, an unhinged glaze session over him and Ryan Clark's issues. Okay, all right, right. I did cover it too, right? So let's just go ahead and go straight into the video.
This is another situation where I don't want to be, I'm not trying to bash black people, but put it up on the screen. Andrew Schulz and Ryan.
Brandon Tatum's whole career was built on bashing black people. Now, I don't want to say, I have to be careful, right? I know that's very hypocritical of me, but when I say this, the thing is, having criticism is one thing, definitely, but I've never been the type to just go along with what the audience just wanted to hear, or not even the audience, excuse me, what the side was saying, the base was saying. I'm not ever that type of person. So even in my older videos where, I'm telling black people to chill with the word racism, please, right? But there were moments where I was stepping outside of the so-called MAGA right, if you will, okay? Look, okay, I'll stop here. I will let Brandon talk a little bit more, and I actually have more footage of him. And we'll go from there, right? So, okay, let me stop right now. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Let me just get back at it.
And Clark, I don't think I can find a person that's in a significant position of power as a black man that if you round it all up, 80% of them are silly. Ryan Clark, listen to what Ryan Clark says, and listen to what Andrew Schulz says. Why is Andrew Schulz more reasonable and level-headed than Ryan Clark? Ryan Clark is an NFL star. He played alongside Sean Taylor, my favorite player. Ryan Clark played in the NFL for I don't know how long. Pro bowler. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, maybe not. But he's an incredible football player. One of the hardest hitting people in the league. Ryan, why can't you wake up? Listen to what he's saying. Roll the clip.
And the intention was to make people laugh. And I think the issue I have with
Let me put this in context real quick. Andrew Schulz told a joke on his show, joking about the black woman effect. They had two other comedians on there, or two other political people on there. Not political people, but they were content creators. Had a few people on there. It was all a big joke, and I guess Ryan Clark got offended about it, made a statement against Andrew Schulz, and now they're coming together to talk about it. Roll it.
Said was that I felt it was framed as if I was unaware of these things that you were saying. You were I want to tell you what black women mean to me. And then you told beautiful stories about your mother and what she did for you, and your wife and what she was doing for you when your health was bad. You know what I mean? And I'm listening to this and I'm like, wow, black women will do anything for their children, and they'll do anything for their husband when they're sick. And I was like, I think my mom and wife are black.
I want to explain to him the black experience, the black woman experience from my point of view. It was watching my mother start from a bank teller and work her way up for decades to run her own collateral department, only to be mistreated when the bank was sold to another bank, and be so sick on Sunday that I finally had to say, hey, Mom, you're old enough to retire. It was to see her go to that same job, 8 to 5, to be treated anyway that she had to be treated because she only had a high school diploma, and then find ways to not only feed me, but do homework with me and my brother, take us to practice because my dad worked 3 jobs. That was the first black woman experience that I had. Right. The second black woman experience I had is marrying a black woman and watching her sleep on my cot as doctors try to figure out why I'm 140 pounds and I'm a 30-year-old man who was 205 pounds a month before that. Her telling me months after that she would just go in the bathroom and cry every night in the hospital.
Andrew Schulz's joke was so much more intelligent and prominent than what Ryan Clark is trying to say. It's not about a black mama, white mama thing. And I don't know how successful, wealthy black people are stuck in this. It's a good mama thing. Everybody who had a good mama would do things like this. Work her way to the top or work herself to the bone just to not get a promotion, but she still come home and take care. You think white people don't do this for their kids?
But he didn't say that white people didn't do this for their kids. Like, that's the point. So I've come like to the other side of this, right? Look, dig this, okay? I think that we have real discussions that we need to have about real situations going on in this world. However, I will not anymore. I will no longer tell anybody how to feel about their side, or not side, their heritage, how they grew up. Sorry, why are you getting mad at Ryan Clark for the story that he's telling? Okay, I mean, of course, there's white moms who do that. Look, the comment, I don't care about jokes. The thing is that my mouth is very slick. Like, I'll say things that are controversial just out of just me just talking. Like, they're not even controversial, right? We're just having a conversation. But the explanation of another person as to why they found it offensive, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, he's just, he's completely wrong for how he's feeling, because white moms do it too. Of course white moms do it too. Of course black moms do it. Spanish moms do it. Of course. I mean, but he's saying for him, that's why he felt like that about the joke. For Ryan, that's how Ryan felt. I may not have felt like that. I don't. It's like, oh, there was a joke made. I may not have felt like that. But I'm sorry. We do not do this. Again, I will not stop saying it until we start telling Jewish people, yes, I'm back there again. Yes, I am. Because, again, these are the two groups in America that's like, we struggle together. But for some reason, when black people hold on to being black in this way, it's like, oh, you need to calm down. I don't see Brandon doing this to, like, making shows like this about Ben Shapiro, or, he took it real easy when Ben Shapiro fired his friend. I'll play a little bit more of this. Again, I'm not one to get worked up over jokes. Y'all know me. I'm just one who lands wherever the truth is. But so what? You're busy glazing Andrew. Andrew's the one who's the most smartest about this. Why? Because he could come down and tell black folk you need to calm down about how you feel. Meanwhile, if somebody says something else about his group, then he has a problem. Or he tries to water it down. Or say that you don't understand. Or say that you're just doing it to be edgy. He's preserving as well, right? So how come the other person can't be? It's not going to be me to stop it.
You think Mexican people don't do this? Good parents do this for their kids. It's not a black thing. There's plenty of black women that's screwing their kids over. That's why they're in prison, because their black mama didn't do nothing. And then Ryan Clark is saying, my daddy worked 3 jobs. Wait a minute, Ryan. Wait a minute. This is where I question the story just a little bit. Your mama working at a bank teller, and she had her own collateral. She ran a collateral group or whatever, which is a promotion, I'm assuming, from a bank teller. Your whole life is what you're explaining. Because at one point she didn't get the promotion. You said she's old enough to retire. So your mama worked at this bank pretty much your whole life. And you telling me your daddy worked 3 jobs your whole life? So your whole life, your mama working a job, your daddy working 3 jobs to make what living? Where did you grow up? How many siblings? Somebody look up how many siblings Ryan Clark have. For your parents to work 4 jobs for 20 years, and y'all was just barely making it? Let me just explain what I think happened, and I could be wrong. No offense to this story. Maybe he can tell his story and prove me wrong. This is what I think as an opinion. His mama worked on that job, and at periods of times, his dad had multiple jobs. Nobody can work 3 jobs in a row. Me, full-time jobs?
So now, because the jobs weren't enough jobs for you, you feel some type of... Damn. So the dad didn't go to... Look, okay? Certain things don't need a trophy. So when I'm about to say, I'm not making this like, oh my God, but at least he didn't go to jail. Like, I'm not doing that. But now we're at the point where, like, the dad didn't work enough jobs for you, and now you calculating how many... I don't see you doing this with other people. I have a problem with this. I do. And I no longer, like I said, I will no longer do it. Like if something insane happens, I'm going to call it out for sure. But things like this, Ryan Clark has a right to feel how he wants to feel. Let me tell you why I was like, and believe me, I am you don't try to put me in any kind of box. I will not be in that box, man. I just won't. But this is why this guy, he gets on my nerve. I gotta chill.
With Nick Fuentes. So Nick Fuentes, in my opinion, is influenced by the devil. So I don't know why Kanye is friends with him unless they're both influenced by the devil.
You see why I don't like this guy? Like, I'm straight up, man. Like, yo, man, I'm about to just like devote my channel to dragging him for like the next 2 weeks. And y'all gonna have to give me the likes and subscribes to make me do it. Like, I'm about to start streaming about this. Like, I'm sick of the fake Black MAGA stuff. Okay? I'm so sick of it.
Nick Fuentes is what I would consider to be a fake right-wing Christian who's a racist. Nobody can act like white people are that great because the stupidest people in the world right now are white liberals.
I'm going to explain to you how Brandon Tatum is doing the bidding of his handlers, okay? Because Brandon Tatum is not just doing this on his own. You know what, whatever. He gets his bag, whatever. Like I always say, I do not get in the lane of those who get their bag. There is a change happening in America right now where people want the nitty gritty, unfiltered truth. Okay? Brandon Tatum, look at the shirt behind him, right? I'm not bussing, whatever, you know. If you like it, I love it. But ain't nobody really wearing that. Nobody's running off to buy the latest Brandon Tatum shirt. The merch isn't selling. He has backers. He should have backers. You need to understand that the conservative, supposedly conservative, independent YouTube media is actually not independent. Sponsorship, I believe in all kinds of sponsorship. Like when I say that, I'm not going to take all kinds of sponsorship, but you do what you got to do to keep your thing going. But that is going to be the last disclaimer I made. Brandon is not allowed to talk the way he really wants to talk. Brandon is owned by his handlers, okay? Whoever they are, whoever supports his show, I can guarantee you that he's owned by his handlers. What he's doing there, when people say white liberal, I don't believe in that term, white liberal. I don't. I really don't. It's just another way to hate white people. You see me, after everything I just said, that's how I said the truth where it lands, right? It's just another way to hate white people. It's just another way to say, yeah, the white liberals are the problem. Okay, we're going to talk about the white liberals now. It's okay to talk about the white liberals. White liberals a lot of times are progressive Jewish people, right? It is very important for me to have, like, I know that I lose followers when I talk subscribers when I talk like this. It's not because I want to chase people away. It's because, like, sometimes I have to spoon feed, but then there's sometimes people like this have been shoveling propaganda down the throat of Americans, okay? And I have a problem with it. Now you want to say that this person, you don't have to like Nick Fuentes, you don't. Kanye, you know, he's doing his thing, whatever. But to say that he is influenced by the devil, have you gone to church with that? When is the last time you picked up a book? I'm sure you're one of those who think we got to bless Israel in order to be blessed, right? I'm so sure. The whole Antichrist movement there, right? Oh, but you big mad at him. Why? Because he knows how to speak about what the Christians are supposed to be opposed to. Who told you to do this? This is shooting yourself in the foot. Okay, at the end of the day, this whole thing is changing. People want edgy, good commentary with truth. If I look up Brandon Tatum's catalog, I'll tell you who he's not talking about. And yeah, I had a comment. And today's episode with me is really, I know, it's like, Dad, Casey, what's going on with you? It's not that. It's just, I'm tired, man. I'm just tired of the liars, bro. Like, I can't take it anymore. Like, I guess I'm just going to have to take it, right? No, but yeah, it's like, okay, here we go. Andrew, we're doing that. Bill Maher torches Gavin Newsom about his podcast. So he did Bill Maher. He's barely putting stuff. Of course, he's talking trash about Kanye, scammy pastors, Joy Reid. We still talking about Joy Reid. Bill Maher went to go see Trump. Elon, Black Democrats start a fight. Everybody's calling Jasmine ghetto. Bar goes right, goes wrong. I don't know if he did the Austin Metcalf story. That was sad. That was Charlie Check's bad liberal dad. Let me tell you what else Charlie did too. I'm coming for all these sucker MCs today. I'm just so you know where you don't see Mark Andreessen. You don't see you don't see Mark Andreessen. You don't see anything about Peter Thiel. You don't see anything about the PayPal mafia. You don't see any of this stuff here. You don't. Everything is like Glaze Elon is awesome. All of that, right? Like these people have to speak to you in only one way. The woke. We're going after the woke mob. Her career is over. Yay! Like it's just getting to be really disgusting. Like I'm just so tired of these people. And I think I have one more.
And then, after the Tanakh, comes the Talmud. Now, how many Talmuds are there?
I'm not exactly
There's
sure.
two. There's the Babylonian and the Jerusalem Talmud. Now, for every verse that you're about to read from the Talmud, and I'll give you a chance to do it, it's probably going to be about, Christ burning in a thing of excrement. There are debates with rabbis in the following verses of them disagreeing.
This is the Christian that I cannot stand, okay? It is. These are the people who get back. They back Brandon Tatum. That's why they're not allowed. They have to go after Nick Fuentes and all of this other stuff. And that's why Andrew Schulz is so amazing and all of this. It's the same narrative. You hear what he's saying? First of all, the fact that you're explaining the Babylonian anything is just Antichrist 100%. Then when you're explaining away verses about Christ in somebody else's book, that's for them to do, not you. I'm not a Christian slave. It does go back to this for me because I see where this goes full circle, okay? And this channel's always been about the inconvenient truth, man. It's always been about the inconvenient truth. So I'm not here to, say the cool thing or whatever. I'm here to get people mad.